The Thunderbolts kicked off the summer movie season. Oh, I'm sorry. The New Avengers kicked off the summer movie season. And yeah, and number 5, well, we seen ultimately what that provided when it came to opening box office results. But as for the rest of this stuff, like I think Ballerina, that comes out relatively shortly. And, Lilo and Stitch is coming out also in a couple of weeks. Well, hell, actually a few days at this point in time. How to Train Your Dragon is also, I think, mid-June, but Freakier Friday towards the end of the year, and Superman will be talking about that a little bit more. And then also, that does kind of tie in on this one, but at number 3, you have Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Now, honestly, I want this movie to succeed. I have fond memories of the Mission Impossible franchise, okay, going back to, Jesus, the mid-90s when all of this stuff started, and here we are on the 8th iteration, the final one to close out the series, so that Tom Cruise can go and try to right the ship over at Warner Brothers, because he's got this gigantic first look deal that's over there, closing out his time with Paramount, hopefully on a high note. Like, I hope The Final Reckoning is better than Dead Reckoning, but given the fact that this script is going to be repurposed as a sequel to Dead Reckoning, which was a box office bomb, so if you have to build on that convoluted mess of a overpowered but under-delivering AI and how you've dealt with a couple of legacy characters, I don't have high hopes, but I do hope that it's good. I hope that it's fun, but I also hope that it's a good Mission Impossible film. There's so many things that are on that list that I really don't care that much about, because 28 years later has a really banger trailer. Probably not going to see it. Haven't seen any of the other 28 the days or weeks later movies. Okay, the horror's not really my thing. And Jurassic World Rebirth, bro, all of those Jurassic World movies make a ton of money. It's probably going to be the biggest, well, outside of Avatar 3 that drops at the end of the year, but it's going to be the highest grossing film of the year. And Fantastic Four, yeah, the more we see about that and all of that shit surrounding that failed production, bro, the fact that they're going back for reshoots, not unlike Superman as well, just a couple of weeks before release, kind of lets you know that this is going to be another disaster. But Tom Cruise really wants this film to succeed. And kind of like what happened with Top Gun Maverick, and then also with, the Dead Reckoning, he's out there stumping on the promotional tour, and, well, he's doing the best job possible, man. I absolutely love it. And to just tie that in with the Superman production, you might think, okay, as Tom Cruise is, he's putting out all of these trailers. We don't really need sound with this one, because you got this crazy man who's over 60 hanging on the wing of a biplane going, hopefully you love our movies, okay, we're just weeks away, we'll see you at the movies. Just, once again, just having a great time, just doing crazy ass stuff, and really putting the movie first, putting the production ahead of his own safety, and, well, just wanting to spread the news. And you take a look at the rest of his timeline, and, bro, he's just out here just absolutely killing it when it comes to marketing the film. From Legend in 1985 to Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, I have been studying and filming underwater sequences for over 40 years. We have always tried to push our filmmaking to the next level. This is the movie McQuaid, well, that's his director that he works with on these projects, and I saw an opportunity to create an underwater sequence unlike any other. We're excited to share it with you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, the way that he puts all this stuff, we're excited to share this with you. We work together on this stuff, and we really think that it's something fantastic. I hope you appreciate the artistry that's on display here. Okay, it's all about preparation and communication, talking with everybody that's there, taking this all seriously, and making sure that it's as smooth as possible. And then, what an honor to begin our global tour in Tokyo, my 25th visit to this incredible city. This film is a true culmination of this franchise, and the love shown by audiences tonight was felt by all. Bro, you see it in his marketing, okay? Texas can't wait to see you, and then he's down there in South Korea, but we'll return to that. And yeah, it's just his entire timeline is all about, hey guys, come check out the movie, okay? We're really excited about this stuff, okay? We got a bunch of crazy stuff going on. We hope you really like it. And to compare and contrast that with the marketing of Superman, where you just got James Gunn putting over James Gunn and James Gunn's Superman movie, it's night and day difference. Because yeah, for as much as Tom Cruise can say, hi, I'm the star of Mission Impossible, you might remember me as Ethan Hunt from Fallout, Rogue Nation 1, 2, and 3, but hopefully you remember me best from Fallout. I'm here to tell you, and everybody else is here to tell you, how fantastic I am and how inspirational I am. That's the way that James Gunn is promoting Superman, and won't be talking about that because at time of recording, well, we haven't quite got the new trailer that's out there, and I want to take a look at that because there's more leaks and more rumors about that production. And at one point in time, man, like, I was really excited for that Superman film, and the more that I see it, the more I hate it. And a large part of that has to do with the way that James Gunn is handling not just the DCU, but that Superman film specifically. If he continues up this same bag of tricks, there's not going to be a DCU moving forward. But to just simply go back to the South Korea event that he tweeted about here, that he was at the tail end of last week. I'm so grateful to be back in the beautiful city of Seoul to share this film. To the fans, we thank you for your support and energy. It's my honor and privilege to entertain you. Absolutely wonderful messaging. It's my honor to present you with this gift, this great $400 million gift, bro. It sucks, man. I want this film to be good. It's just bogged down by this bloated budget, and it's hampered by the movie that came before it. Oh, but the Barbenheimer phenomenon, I just really, did a number on, Mission Impossible. Yeah, a well-oiled machine of a franchise getting pushed out by an R-rated biopic. Make that one make sense. Like, you can go ahead and you can look back on it with hindsight being 2020 and rationalize it as such, but yeah, a big budget action film being supplanted by an R-rated biopic and a goofy-ass feminist propaganda film that nobody looks back on fondly. Like, at least Oppenheimer won Best Picture, but Barbie shit, nobody talks about that shit in any sort of a glowing light. But even if your mileage may vary on Dead Reckoning, whether or not you loved it or not, people still continue to talk about the effervescent nature of Tom Cruise. Like, he is one of the last remaining movie stars, and he is, actually like a good dude when it's all said and done. Very complimentary to the fans, very complimentary to the cast. He leverages his platform, okay? Not to use this in a cringe term or anything like that, but he uses it in the best way possible. Not to push his own personal brand, not to push his own personal messaging. That's what made him so divisive back in the early 2000s when he was actually super based about SSRIs and how he was really in love with a bad bitch about 20 years his junior. Hilarious how Hollywood condemned him because he was, incredibly religious, maybe to a church that they didn't necessarily like, but because he was such an upstanding man, and if they had such a problem with the age gap between him and Katie Holmes, I guess probably should have just changed his name to Roman Polanski, and the rest of Hollywood would have looked the other way. But speaking about the Seoul visit, where him and the cast were up there answering a couple of media-related questions, Tom Cruise refuses to politicize Mission Impossible promotion amid the Trump question. We'd rather answer questions about the movie. Yeah, exactly, because one way or another, and I'm sure Tom Cruise has his opinions on things. And frankly, the fact that we don't know really one way or another, you might be able to deduce because he's kind of based and wants to stay out of it. You can lean in one direction, but the fact that we don't have a clear-cut answer on that stuff is exactly the type of behavior that used to have your mystique for your Hollywood icons, that used to lend credibility to true movie stars. But now you can go on social media, and instead of somebody promoting a highly anticipated project, they've got to tag it with "and free Palestine." Fucking idiot. But in an entertainment industry where press tours increasingly double as political soapboxes, Tom Cruise just proved that it's possible for a movie star to stay focused on the movie and not Donald Trump. During a press conference in Seoul promoting Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the man many call the last real movie star was asked a pointed question about President Donald Trump's proposed tariffs on films produced outside the United States, which, there's no tariffs on there right now. They haven't figured out anything about that stuff. And you take a look at so many of those other tariffs that got put into place, like that one, and the China one. Oh, right, that one just got walked back because of a 90-day negotiating window just got opened. Oh shit, it's almost like the more things change, the more they stay the same. Nothing ever really happens. It was always a negotiating tactic, and realistically, the people cheering this stuff on, okay, like the Uber Trump can do no wrong, okay, for as much as I'm a Trump supporter, and hell, like orange man wearing orange top, okay, you can go ahead and connect some dots that are out there. Long story short, if he ends up putting those tariffs on foreign produced films and he shakes out all the specifics on that one, why would you want to uphold? Why would you want to try to make Hollywood great again? Okay, a town in a, well, greater studio system that is all about doubling down on DEI policies and entrenching the Marxist writers that are there. Why would you want more of that? Okay, is there any way that you can make those ideas great again? No, okay, because they weren't great to begin with. But anyways, rather than dive into this debate, Cruz offered a simple, firm, and refreshingly sane response. We'd rather answer the question about the movie. Thank you. No, he just actually didn't even acknowledge it. He just simply hand waved it without even raising the microphone up to his mouth. He mouthed off to whoever was sitting next to him. I think it was Christopher McQuarrie. Yeah, who was sitting next to him. He's like, yeah, no, I'd rather talk about the movie, and they just moved on appropriately. The moment unfolded during a panel featuring director Christopher McQuarrie, co-stars Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Palm Clementif Mantis, and Greg Tarzan Davis, a Korean journalist speaking through a translator, obviously, asked whether the upcoming Mission Impossible installment shot across various countries, including parts of Africa, would be impacted by Trump's proposed tariffs on overseas film productions. It's like, well, shit, no, because there are no tariffs, and also, well, his response. The question echoed growling speculations from the media and among studio heads about how a new America First film policy could affect Hollywood's international operations. Cruz, with a calm smile, leaned toward the translator and politely shut it down, shifting the focus back to where it belonged. The panel's moderator then chimed in, backing Cruz up with, I think that's a fair answer. Fair and incredibly rare. And yeah, exactly the way you would want to see more stars respond, but regrettably, there's a reason that he is referred to as the last real movie star, because he's the last real star who would do anything approaching a sane response like that. So shout out to Tom Cruise. Like I said, I pray that Dead Reckoning is good. Well, it's not, but I hope the final Reckoning is good. These stupid slug lines, man. Fallout was so good. That's both the title and the movie. But the last Mission Impossible, please end on a high note. Just for people looking for something fun to watch at the tail end of May, and also to really stick it to what remains of woke Hollywood. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.